Good morning, guys. My name is Phil. Welcome back to Miranda Detailing. So in today's episode, we have this beautiful Toyota Supra in for our new car prep and ceramic coatings. So let's get started on the pre-wash. We're going to use Akash Chemi shampoo, their Super Foam. It's a high alkaline soap. It can be used as a regular shampoo. It can be used as a pre-wash. Either way, this stuff cleans extremely well. It's very, very slick. So we're gonna use that for our shampoo to deep clean the paint. Now, once again, this is PPF'd everywhere. It's got the whole front section. It's got portions in the bottom and the back PPF'd. So there's only so much polishing we can do. Of course, we can do a light polish on the PPF in the front if there's anything that needs to be lightly polished. But if it looks fine, then really what we're going to do is just panel wipe it and coat it. But of course, the face of the wheels, the glass, and the plastic, that will also get attention, cleaned, prepped, and ceramic coated. Guys, if you're enjoying videos like this, and I hope you are, consider subscribing and clicking that bell so you don't miss stuff. Now, we're gonna go over it with the fine-tooth comb. We're gonna go over some of the defects that the owner pointed out to us and make sure that we document those. And, you know, there's things like this. There's a big scratch here, and this is actually in the PPF. This whole front end is PPF'd. And we also have a little blemish right here in the PPF as well, so it's starting to peel up. I see it over there also. So those are things you gotta point out and document those well. The rest of it, however, is really not too bad. Very minor swirls. So we're gonna polish this and coat it with a 2-year coating. So all of the paint, plastic, face of the wheels, and the glass get protected. So we're in the midst of our pre-wash, our APC rinsing. Since we're in the full sun, you don't want to let this sit for any longer than a minute. Don't let it sit for 5 minutes. Don't let it sit for 10. It's super clean, diluted, 1 to 10 in the IK foamer, a little bit weaker than usual, but it still works extremely well. But for mobile detailers, or any detailer, but especially mobile since you're out in the sun, be cognizant of the pre-wash on the paint. Don't let it sit there for 5 minutes. I've been getting questions about APC rinsing damaging trim. Well, once again, it's not going to damage trim unless it's already damaged or really, really dry and oxidized, or if you let it sit there for 5 minutes. So that's not what this is for. This is not like a foam, auto snow foam or auto wash that you see some of the guys use at the foam cannon. They foam the whole thing up and let it dwell for 5 minutes. Mobile detailers don't have that time. At least we don't. Time is money. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to foam cannon the whole thing using a snow foam or a typical auto foam or pre-wash or whatever to do your pre-washing, that's different. You foam the entire vehicle and then you can let it dwell for as long as you need to let it dwell. But for the APC rinse, no, you do not let it dwell for 5 minutes. That's not good to do. So it's just common sense. There's 2 different ways, or there's many different ways to do your pre-washing. This is just our method that works very well, very efficient, cost effective, and it works really well for us. If you don't like the pre-wash that we do, the APC rinse, then do your typical snow foam. That's totally fine. Just make sure that you're profiting. Don't waste money and don't waste time. So now that everything is pre-washed, now we're gonna use the Super Foam. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nope, 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 that's not the thing. Yep, there you go, there you go. There you go. So this is now our contact wash. The pre-wash gets the majority of the junk off the paint. Now we can go much quicker, much faster in the contact wash because basically we're just using our wash mitts and using the soap that's on the vehicle. Excellent lubrication, excellent cleaning power with this soap. So this contact wash phase will go pretty quickly. And we'll use the clay mitt if we need to. We'll check the paint, see how smooth it is, because it is PPF'd up here, so we probably don't need to go too crazy on that. So as I'm working on the wheels, Wifey's gonna use the rapid decon on the back and see if any reaction happens. And if we're not really seeing any reaction, then we'll skip this step because it is unnecessary. All right, I'm going to use O'Berk tire cleaner and wheel cleaner for the tires and wheels. So the Supra is now cleaned, deconned, and we're drying it, and we're going over it and finding some weird little things. There's actually what looks like some sort of road junk. It could actually be gum. Sometimes gum, when it's on the road, tire will pick it up and it'll like sling it, and it will end up going on paint like that in all these like little strings. So I have some Kosh Chemi Ulix I put in a little spray bottle here to make it easier to use, and that should make, oh yeah, it just removes it easily. Yep, no problemo. Now it got onto a little bit of the matte finish down there, which it can be coated. These matte finishes can be coated with no problem. It's not going to change the look of them. Ulix is safe to use on the plastics like this, on the matte finishes. Removing this gum, and if you can remove it with your fingernail, that's okay. I wouldn't do that on the paint, but on plastic it's okay to do that. There we go. All right, and if there's any little tar bits, then Ulix will take care of that also. It's all removed from the paint. It's looking good. Now as we're looking around the paint, we see a few little areas here. This is actually PPF that is peeling up. We showed that before we even washed it. We have that other little scratch over there. As far as defects in the PPF, barely anything. Very, very light. A few little water spots here and there. I think just a very quick, easy prep polish on here is all you need. You don't need to compound it. You don't need to go any further. The rest of the paint, again, actually is really not too bad. See a little minor swirls. That's just residual water. We're still drying some of the panels. Water's seeping out. Little defects here and there. Really not too bad. Paint enhancement is all we're going to need. You don't need to polish the black matte finish down there. We'll just wipe it and coat it, and we'll coat it with the same coating that we're doing, that we're using on the paint. Already with your double shots, huh?
Oh yeah.
Wheels are looking great. Wheels and tires cleaned up incredibly well. If you're interested in the O'Berk wheel cleaner and tire cleaner, this duo right here, yeah, some awesome stuff. If you are interested in any of the products or the tools, check out Car Supplies Warehouse. I'll have links down below. Enter code Miranda10. You will get 10% off. Or if you are a professional detailing business, then sign up for wholesale pricing at Car Supplies Warehouse. So plates are off. Things are pretty much dry. I say about 99% there. I'm sure we're going to find some drips of water coming out as we polish, but let's pick a combo and start polishing. Oh, this is your light, sorry. let's do some gentle polishing on the PPF. There are some deep scratches in it, can't do anything about. The year warranty on the PPF is up. We can't really do much with it. There's already some defects in it. What we can do is at least prep it. This will remove any light water spotting and maybe light little marring that's on the PPF, but we're gonna use the Oberk Supreme polish and an orange pad. And yes, this is actually still gentle enough just to polish and remove some of the light defects. And really, we don't have to put too much on here. That's about it for now. I can feel the difference. Yeah, it removed some of the light water spotting. And you can see, this is before. It might be kind of hard to see. You can kind of see some defects in there. And yeah, it clears it up. So that's before. That's after. You can see the line, right there. Removing some of the minor defects, minor water spots, a little bit of hazing. You don't have to put any pressure. Just let the polish in the pad do the work, and that's it. And that's just with 2 little drops of the Oberk Supreme Finish Polish. So we're going to use that over the entire vehicle. Let's see how it does on the regular paint as we get to the regular paint. And if we need to bump it up, we also have the Oberk Soul. This is their medium polish. So this can be used as a paint enhancement, a nice one-step polish. And again, it can be used on an orange pad like this, or maybe something a little bit more aggressive, depending on your paint situation. It's looking gorgeous, guys. It is all polished. We just did a panel prep. I didn't use Dr. Beasley's on this. This color is very forgiving, and we didn't have to go really that heavy. We used the Oberk polish, the Supreme polish, and then in some areas we used the Soul, which is their medium. This stuff, actually both of these, incredible. The application is so nice. It's so smooth, a little goes a long way, and the wipe off is amazing. So love these polishes. This is the first time I'm actually using them, at least here in our shop. I've demoed them in other places, but the first time actually using them on a job, very, very impressed. I didn't even need to use the cut today. I'll probably use that later on for maybe other scratch and heavy swirl removal and paint corrections. Now, we're not going to use this today. We'll show this in a different video, but this is their defense gel. This is actually a ceramic coating, but it's not like a 2-year coating. It's more like a 9 to 12 month coating. So this actually applies like a ceramic coating. You don't just wipe it on, wipe it off. You actually apply it like a ceramic coating with the applicators, like little blue applicators that we use. But what we're going to coat this with today is Gyeon Pure. This is a little bit of a thicker coating, and it has more of a candy gloss. That is what we want on this baby. We want that candy gloss. Now, I have heard that the application of this is the first time us using this. I have heard that it can be a little finicky, but we'll see what people mean by that, because some have mentioned that the Gyeon 1 was finicky to work with, and really I didn't have any problems with it at all. It actually worked really well for us. So we're going to give this a try today. This is what we'll be applying onto the Supra. Now we're on to the coating stage, and if you don't already know, this is my coating station. So I have this rolling cabinet here from New Age because it came with the whole cabinet set that we got. And basically I have the coating caddy here. This is from Beads, and I have a couple of different coating caddies, but I like this one from Beads. It goes right on the top here. It's really nice and stable. You can actually put 4 different coatings in here. And I already started coating some panels to test out the Pure, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to apply this. It's really not that difficult, but it is different from Crystal Serum Light that we usually apply, and some other coatings that do that weird sweating with the lines, and it kind of does that beading effect. This is different. So I have their applicator that came with the Pure, which I actually really like this, and I like the larger one also that Gyeon sells. I just have my usual 2 towels from Kirkland. That's my usual thing. I did glove up because this coating is a very thick coating, and the new Evo line from Gyeon, their coatings are incredible, and they will crystallize on your towels and your applicator pretty much no matter what. That's how strong they are. This is actually rated as a 2-year coating, but it can probably get up to 3 years depending on how it's maintained. So let's go into showing you how we apply this. And again, it's not a huge deal, but let's go over some tips. So with the little applicator here, this is how much we apply. It's already pretty much primed, so you don't need a ton. That's all you need. And you'll notice with the application that it is very smooth, but it's a very thick coating. So I go in my typical boxing out the area that I'm doing. You can do either, a diagonal line if you want. I just chose not to do it for whatever reason. Doesn't really make that big of a deal. And I cross hatch it just 2 or 3 times. That's it. And you'll see that as it goes on, it's laying on very, very heavy and very thick. You are going to want 2 towels and your light, of course, your hand light. Now this coating, again, it doesn't bead, it doesn't separate, it doesn't do that like Crystal Serum Light does. This does kind of rainbow, but it's hard to see, especially with the lighting in here. It likes the more flat lighting to see that rainbowing effect, but I'm not relying on that because this coating, the new Evo line, bonds pretty much instantly. So I give it 30 to 60 seconds and then I start to wipe off. I have found a little technique with wiping it off that works really well, and that is what I'll show you in just a moment. Now it is fairly cool in here. We have the AC going, we have a small fan circulating some air in here, and the humidity isn't too bad in here as well. But these can actually be applied outdoors, but your working time will be shortened. So it's had enough time. Here's how we go about removing it. With your first towel, I go in small circular motions. And I go all around the perimeter, and then I'll work into the center. And I'll just go around the perimeter again, and longer strokes like so. Pretty much just copy what I'm doing here. That gets the majority of it. Come back with your second clean towel, and again, circular motions, go back over it. And again, this can go over a PPF, it's not a big deal. And then I'll do these large circular motions. Now, it's not a slick coating. It is a smooth coating, but it's not super slick. I'm going to flip it, one more wipe, or you can do a third towel if you want. Check it with your lights. I can see the lights here from the ceiling. It's looking good. That's pretty much it. So circular motions seem to help remove this coating a little bit better. Helps kind of level it out. It's looking beautiful. This hood is massive. Oh my goodness. It is huge. I'm going to have to cut it up into weird sections because it's a weird curvy shape. But that's okay. When you're applying coatings like this, just make sure to go in sections that you remember where you're coating. Don't extend the coating too far, and you can overlap. It's better to overlap, that way you know you're getting into the adjacent sections that you just coated. So I know I was using this weird little curvy line here. And be smooth with this. Don't go in circular motions with the applicator. Be smooth with your lines. And you can actually go right over the plastic. I'm going to go right over the little plastic inlays here on the hood. So if you go slow with this coating, it works better because it is very thick. This pure coating, It has intensified gloss more than the other ones, and it gives this kind of a candy gloss look. Instead of, I guess some say, more of a glassy look on paint. But you know what? That's so subjective. I don't see the difference. I see shiny, I see glossy, I see swirl-free. That's what makes the difference to me. When the sun hits any of the coatings that we've applied, they all look beautiful to me. So, you know, whatever. People can choose. That's why there's so many different coatings and so many different waxes and sealants, because people pick and choose what they want. It could be the exact same thing in the bottle, labeled differently, with different directions and different things on the back that say what it does, and people will believe it. And for whatever reason, it's a psychosomatic thing. They say, oh yeah, that one is glossier than that one, when it's the same stuff in the bottle. Yeah, so don't go crazy over that type of stuff, because I really don't see it. Some people do, but again, they simply claim that they do. Gloss meters are not going to give you the reading of, is it a candy gloss or is it a glass-like gloss? It's just going to give you a number, that's all. So that doesn't tell you, does it look nicer to your eye? That's purely subjective. Yeah, but I have found small circular motions like this do help level the coating a little bit better, and then finish off with long strokes like this with the towel. Go right over the plastic. It actually makes the plastic look beautiful. That's awesome. And once again, it's not a tacky coating, but it is a smooth coating. I can feel that it's smooth, but that's very different than slick, you know? Like it doesn't have that slick feeling with the towel. It's not tacky or grabby. I can't really say it's that, because when I go into an adjacent panel that doesn't have the coating, that feels very slick. This feels smooth, but it does grab at the towel. But I can't really say it's tacky, because it's not. It's just a different feeling. And once again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can always top this with other things. We're going to top this tomorrow with Cure, and that adds an additional layer of protection while this is curing for the next 7 days. You know, the initial cure, 12 to 24 hours, 12 hours actually with this, with the new line, and then 7 days to fully cure. Wow, is it glossy. I mean, on camera it looks amazing, but in person it looks even better. The gloss on this is just insane. Now, you saw us use Gyeon Pure on this matte finish. It can go on all the matte finishes, on the bottom portions, the bumpers, front and rear, the black gloss, no problem. Yeah, it is awesome, awesome stuff. So wheels and tires are all done. The only thing I need to do on this is just go through, touch up on the glass and a few other sections, go around it a few times and make sure there's no smears, no high spots. But wow, this is looking incredible. Oh, and the exhaust pipes. Yeah, so we'll do that. And then tomorrow we'll top it with Cure and it will be done. Hopefully we'll have a sunny day tomorrow, because I want to pull this out into the sun and see what it looks like. It's always good to go around the edges too with just a glass cleaner or a glass sealant. I have a towel here that I use just a little bit of American Detailer's Garage Wipeout, and that was just enough to cut through any of the residual that, you know, may have gotten onto the glass from wiping the paint. Beautiful. Man, this thing looks incredible.